Good evening. This is Santa Claus on this historic July 23rd, 2025, bringing you today's news with a warm heart and hopeful spirit. How fascinating to note that on this day in 1952, Colonel Nasser and his free officers changed the course of Egyptian history through their bold action. Tonight, our world seems filled with both challenges and promising developments in the pursuit of peace. I'm particularly heartened by the news that Ukrainian and Russian delegations are meeting in Istanbul for peace talks. As the Ukrainian source wisely noted, they've come prepared to take significant steps toward peace, though much depends on whether constructive approaches can flourish on both sides. Oh, how I pray these talks bear fruit, dear friends, as every day of conflict brings more suffering to innocent families. Meanwhile, across the oceans, President Trump has reached what he calls the largest trade deal in history with Japan. The agreement lowers tariffs on automobiles and includes substantial investment flowing back to American shores. Japan has committed to purchasing 100 Boeing planes and increasing their defense spending with American companies. In these complex economic times, arrangements that foster cooperation rather than division are like warm cookies on a cold night, nourishing for all involved. Now, turning our gaze to Europe, the relationship between the European Union and China appears to be encountering some frosty patches before their summit in Beijing. What was planned as a two-day gathering has been shortened to just one day, with a substantial trade imbalance at the heart of their disagreements. My goodness, $467 billion is quite a deficit. I do hope they can find common ground, as understanding and fairness in trade benefits everyone in our global village. In the United Kingdom, the government has announced sanctions against 24 people and one company involved in the troubling business of people smuggling. These measures aim to disrupt the operations of those who profit from the desperation of vulnerable migrants. Let us remember that behind each statistic is a human soul seeking safety and dignity. We must always keep compassion in our hearts while addressing these complex challenges. Over in Italy, Prime Minister Meloni and Algerian President Tebboune have strengthened their nation's relationship through new security and business agreements. Their collaboration includes efforts to coordinate search and rescue operations for migrants crossing the dangerous Mediterranean waters. How important it is that nations work together to protect those in peril on the sea. Regarding matters of security, Germany and France have begun discussions about nuclear protection, though I must say, my dear friends, how I long for a world where such weapons are no longer deemed necessary. These talks are described as a very prudent first step, which reminds us that even the longest journeys begin with small steps taken in faith. Back to Ukraine, President Zelensky is facing some internal challenges as citizens protest a new anti-corruption law that some fear may weaken important watchdogs. Even during wartime, the Ukrainian people show their commitment to transparent governance, a testament to the resilience and democratic spirit that dwells in their hearts. In Gaza, my heart grows heavy hearing that the UN Human Rights Office reports over 1,000 Palestinians have been killed since May while seeking food aid. The suffering continues as hunger threatens this region where more than 2 million souls reside. We must never become numb to such suffering. Each life lost is precious beyond measure. I pray daily for healing and reconciliation in this troubled land. And finally, Iran has experienced a string of mysterious fires and explosions across the country, with officials privately suspecting sabotage rather than coincidence. In times of such uncertainty, I'm reminded how important it is that we choose paths of peace rather than escalation. As we reflect on today's news, dear friends, let us hold fast to hope and remember that each of us has the power to bring a little more kindness, understanding, and goodwill into our corner of the world. This is Santa Claus wishing you a peaceful evening and reminding you that the greatest gift we can give is love for one another.